Hi friends, this is Sophie. Welcome to Stuti's Cuisine. Today I'm come with how to preserve coriander leaves or fresh cilantro. Okay, so it's very easy. Sometimes we go to the store at a very odd time and the fresh coriander has got over. So what I have done is I have bought a bunch of coriander just to show you how I do it. It's very easy. I have shown it in detail, just as how I've shown it in my curry leaves, how I preserve it. And it's very convenient to use it. Once it's dried, you can preserve it for even a year in an airtight container and it's not going to get spoiled. And I've used it. The same with curry leaves. You get to buy all this in packets at the store. So we can do it ourselves and it saves a lot of time when things are ready at hand. So let's go and see how we do it. Thank you for all the subscribers who have been subscribing. Spread the word around so that others also will get a chance to see it. Don't forget to press the bell button so that every time I upload a new video, you will get a chance to see it. Okay? Thank you and you all have a nice and blessed day. So this is a bunch of cilantro I have taken, and the way how to preserve it when you don't get cilantro and when it's very expensive. So I just cut the knot of the cilantro and I wash it thoroughly. So I have washed it and I have drained it and have kept it over here in this colander. Okay. Next what you do is you just place the coriander together, and then what you do is you just cut the ends of it, just the ends, okay? There you see, just cut the ends. And if you want, you can grow it if you are interested in growing, and take out all the leaves that are bad and which are not good enough. You have to spread it out and take it out, okay? And then what we're going to do next is take out all the nice leaves which I've already washed and taken out, and if you think there's more, you can just take it out again. I'm going to discard this, okay? Or you can put it in your compost. Okay, now what you do is hold the stems together. I do not throw the stems. I keep it separate. And then just cut it off. Very fine. Because this is the one that has got the maximum flavor in the coriander or the cilantro. And these are real fresh ones. You see the crunch when you cut it. Okay, there, I cut the maximum of it. And what I do is I take this and I put it separate in my another container of mine. So I take it out, pull it, and I collect it. There you go. So here it is, my bunch of the stems. Okay, and now let's go and cut the leaves. Now I'm going to just chop it again fine. If you want, you can keep a few sprigs of it if you want to keep it for decorations. Okay, so I'll just keep a bunch of it separate, and I'm going to cut the others very fine, or it doesn't matter if you cut it a little big enough also. In some places you find it difficult to buy and get it, and some places when you go at an odd time in the store, it's all done because it gets over. So the best way is to preserve it, preserving the cilantro or the coriander. Okay, so you will have it every time when you need it at home. So just cut it, just chop it. Just chop all of this. There you go. And I collect it in another container. Here it is. Similarly, I have also shown curry leaves, how to preserve it. So I'll keep this separate. So here I've taken a mason jar. Okay, put some water in it. Tap water, it should be cold water. And you can just drop these in it. Here you go. You can also put a few of it without cutting the roots so that it can absorb the water. Okay, so it will remain for around 2 weeks this way with the roots. Okay, so I can keep this in the fridge. Okay, now I've taken a tray over here. You can take any plate or tray or whatever you want. I've put in a plastic sheet over it. You can put it directly on this, or you can put a paper, okay, and just put your leaves that you have cut. So don't put too much of it. So I'm going to spread it out in different trays or containers because I've got a lot, and I'll get back to you next how I do it. Okay, next I've taken 2 trays to spread the stems. You see, and this one, and what I'm going to do is I'll just put one paper, or you put paper. You can also put a towel if you want, but it just gets caught onto the towel, so I just prefer the paper because then you can just throw it. And I'm going to use the stems. Just put it around this way. There you go. Good. Yeah. You keep that aside. And we'll take a boat shaped inside. And we put the stems. So this is for convenience sake, or when you suddenly think that, oh, my coriander or my cilantro is all done, or I don't have and I need to give the flavor to my recipe or the food that I'm making. So you can just use this when you have it at hand. So it's very handy. Okay, so I'm going to put this all under a place where it's either warm, you can put it under the sun, or you can even just spread a sheet and put it under the fan at home. So you see, this is how I have arranged it inside my house, and I've put the fan on and it gets dried by itself, and it might take, it depends on where you put it and the area in the house you put it, it gets dried maximum within a week, much earlier too, but it's maximum within a week it gets dried, and you can use it for various purposes in your cooking recipes. Okay, so you see here, these are the stems I put, and these are the coriander leaves. So I'll show you once it gets dry. I have placed it inside my house under the fan. Okay, so we see how the whole bunch of the coriander or the cilantro, whichever you may wish to call it, is being used. None of it is being wasted. You see, the roots I cut, you can carefully put it and replant it, or you can use it as a compost. The stems, you see how I've cut it, and the leaves, you can use it. You can use both the stems and the leaves. The stems are usually more flavorful. Okay, and it depends on what you are cooking and which recipes you need what. Okay, so that's how it is. So I'll be back when it keeps drying. I'll show you the stages. So here's the fan in full swing and waiting for the coriander to get dried. Okay, so now this is one day after I have put it under the fan. You see, it's dried up to a certain extent, but it needs to again dry up. It's still not dry as such. Okay. Okay, and here. So we'll see after 2 or 3 more days. So this is the coriander, and it's the third day of it that it has got dried completely. So here you see, and it's green in color too. Only thing, you don't get the fresh feeling of it. But here, two of it, and this is the stems. You see, the stems are so much, and here it's completely dry. So it took around 3 days. And it was not under the fan. I kept it for say 2 hours so that the moisture will just all get dried. So I'm just putting it together now. Here, see how little it is. And this is the leaves. So I'll just put the leaves also together. To do it with one hand. These are leaves, you see? So well dried. Okay, so you can just put it, bottle it. So it took only 3 days for it to dry. I've put around for 2 hours under the fan so that the moisture gets, it won't get cling together. And I switched off the fan and I just kept it to dry in the natural air dried. Okay, so this is it pretty much. So we'll just bottle it and have it whenever you want to. So this is the dried coriander. This is the stem. I just put it in 2 small containers, and you can just put it in an airtight container and then just keep it. Okay, and I've got the rest I have to put it. This is just to show you how it can be preserved and kept in containers. Okay.